A warm welcome to the students of BBA third semester. In this session, I'm going to talk about the subject Human Resource Management. The contents which I'll be covering is relating to Unit 2, Human Resource Planning, Recruitment and Selection. The topic which will be covered in this session is about recruitment. Dear students, it is important even from your examination point of view. In the last session, we had discussed issues related to human resource planning. Once completing the concept and understanding human resource planning, it is necessary for you to get an elaborate information about recruitment. In this session, I'll be covering the following contents: introduction, meaning of recruitment, definition of recruitment, factors determining recruitment, and recruitment policy. At the end of the session, we shall also discuss most likely questions in your examination. Let's begin to understand the introductory aspect to recruitment. Dear students, the aim of human resource planning is to determine the needs for persons both in terms of number and type. It is necessary for a company to understand the number of people required to work, both present and future. So therefore, they take into consideration the company's policies with regard to expansion or diversification. Based on their projects or based on their tasks, they decide the number of people required. Hence, it is necessary to understand what kind of qualification an individual should possess, technical requirements to manage various jobs should be properly analyzed so that right type of persons are employed. Hence, in today's competitive environment, the choice of right employees, it is very important, because to survive, the best factor it is determining is the strategy, and the key strength lies in your employees or workforce. So let's understand the meaning of recruitment. Recruitment is the process of searching for prospective employees and stimulating or motivating them to apply for jobs in the organization. When more people apply for jobs, then there is a lot of scope for recruiting the right person. The job seekers, too, on the other hand, are in search of organizations which are the best in the world and the organization which offers the best employment. Recruitment is a linkage activity bringing together the job seekers and job providers. Let's understand the definition. This definition is given by William B. Rether and K. Davis. Recruitment is the process of finding and attracting capable applicants for employment. The process begins when new recruits are sought, and hence when their applicants are submitted. So hence, recruitment is a continuous process for searching for prospective employees and motivating to apply for jobs. Let's try to understand the other popular definitions which are given. According to Flippo, recruitment is the process of searching for prospective employees and stimulating and encouraging them to apply for jobs in an organization. Recruitment has been defined as the process of seeking out and attracting individuals from the labor market who are capable and interested in filling the employment vacancies. This definition is given by Taylor and Burgam. So, recruitment is a tedious process for searching and attracting the right candidates in the entire labor market and motivating them to apply so that the employment vacancies are filled. So we have understood two definitions given by Edwin B. Flippo and Taylor Bergman. Let's move forward to understand other definitions too. Let us discuss one more definition given by Dale S. Beach. According to them, recruitment is the development and maintenance of adequate manpower resources, which involves the creation of a pool of available labor upon whom the organization can depend when it needs additional employees. Say, once the employees are recruited or candidates are being recruited, it does not end there. Further, if the company is moving forward for expansion or diversification, or they are taken up new tasks or new projects, even then there will be a need for recruitment. So according to Dale, it is a process to identify and keep them in their prospective list. So whenever the need arises, you can select them and invite them for selection process. So therefore, recruitment is most important function in human resource management. Now let's understand the purpose and importance of recruitment. As I mentioned earlier, it is necessary for a company to brand itself as one of the best place for working. And today's youngsters are very conscious in choosing the company in which they even apply for. So therefore, this process helps to attract and encourage candidates to apply for the post in the organization. It helps the organization to determine the need of human resource for both present and future requirements. It creates a database or a pool of candidates at a very minimum or low cost. You'll be able to begin identifying and preparing potential applicants who will be the appropriate candidates for further selection process. Therefore, recruitment is very important. So it is a process which links employers with employees. Begin to identify and prepare the potential job applicants. It helps to meet all the organization's legal and social obligations regarding the composition of workforce. So it helps to reduce the probability that job applicants once recruited and selected will leave the organization only after a short period of time. Therefore, it is very important to create a best talent pool. So, recruitment process is important in the human resource management function. Let's understand what are the factors which determines recruitment. The factors determining recruitment are as such: the size of the business. Depending on the nature and the size of the business, the companies will decide to recruit. See now SBI, State Bank of India has been merged. So the size of the business has beyond its earlier requirements. So now they have stretched from north to south, east to west as SBI as one group. So the number of requirements will definitely be high. Similarly with Indian Railways, similarly with Metro. So based on the size of the business, you will have a base or recruitment pool required to a higher level. The next important is the present or prevailing employment conditions in the locality of recruitment. The other most important factor which is determining is the policy which was adopted earlier, which definitely drives the present recruitment process. The past recruiting policy of the organization in retaining the good workforce will also determine the present policy which the company is going to adopt. People always look for the best work environment, and along with that is compensation package which influence the employees to either continue or exit from the organization. So every company makes sure they give the best work environment. The rate of growth at which the company is growing based on their future prospects, cultural, legal and economic factors will also determine the recruitment process. Hence, it is ideal important for every company to follow the policy which was adopted earlier and modify according to the present requirement. So these are the factors which determines recruitment. Next, it's necessary for us to understand what are the elements of a good recruitment policy. The elements of a good recruitment policy are: consider the company's objectives, both short term and long term. Identify the recruitment needs, department wise or branches wise. Next, you have to have the preference for the sources of recruitment. And it is essential to have criteria for selection and preferences. And the most important is the pay package. So, recruitment policy specifies the objectives of recruitment and provides a framework for the implementation of the recruitment program. In your examination, if you expect a question, what do you mean by recruitment policy? The answer will be recruitment policy specifies the objectives of recruitment and provides a framework for implementation of the recruitment program. Let's now move on with understanding the concept related to recruitment process. So recruitment process is a systematic procedure. Recruitment process involves a systematic procedure from searching the candidates for arranging and conducting the interviews and requires many resources and time. It has following activities. The steps are: first step is identify vacancies. Dear students, before we move on to understanding every step, let's have a brief look about the steps involved in the recruitment process. The first step would be identifying vacancies. The second step is preparing job and person specification. Third, advertising vacancies. Fourth, managing responses. Fifth, shortlisting and identifying the prospective candidates, arranging the interview with the shortlisted employees, and conducting the interview and decision making. So, dear students, now I'll explain every step for you in detail. The first step in recruitment process is identify vacancies. It begins with the human resource department to receive the requisitions for recruitment from various departments in the organization. As you know, the departments in organizations are production or manufacturing, marketing, advertising, sales department, research and development department, auditing, accounting. So there are so many departments which all comes under finance, marketing, HR or R&D. So every department might have certain requirements or job vacancies. So the company or the HR department will receive these requirements. It includes posts to be filled, number of vacancies, the duties to be performed, and qualification with experience. So the first step in recruitment process is to obtain the requirements, that is identifying vacancies. Let's move on to the next step. The next step which we'll be discussing is about preparing job and person specification. Job specification is helpful to think of job under broad heading. Main characteristics of the training, background of the job, main responsibilities, job boundaries, and so on. Let's say if there is a requirement for sales manager, so you can easily determine what will be the training required for a new recruit sales manager, irrespective of his past experience. What are his duties and responsibilities? What kind of environment you'll be working for? What are his challenges? So you will be able to create a job specification. Once this is done, you have to think on advertisements because people should be aware about the vacancy for which you're calling for. So advertising vacancies. This is the method by which the candidates will be identified or located. It is either through internal sources or external sources. Maybe you can put it on your notice board regarding the job vacancies, or through blogs, websites, or it can be through newspapers, journals, electronic mail. So there are various sources, or you can also advertise through consultants, placements. Therefore, advertising vacancies can be either of internal or external. Let's move on to the next step. The next step is managing response. Once you've advertised, people are aware and you would have given the date of application to be received. So people will start applying either through soft copy or through courier or through walk-ins. So once the response is received, you have to start scrutinizing the application as per the recruitment policy, which will be done by a committee called as scrutiny committee. Once the process is done, next is shortlisting and identifying the prospective candidates. So you might have the restriction on qualification or age or category through which they belong to or gender. Maybe certain jobs you want to only recruit female or you want to recruit only male. So you will have this shortlisting procedures. So once shortlisting is done, a list is prepared. The next step is arranging the interview with the shortlisted employees. Interview instead of employees, rather let's call them as candidates. Interview dates are finalized. Criteria for the merit list are prepared by the committee and it is formulated. The last step in recruitment process is conducting the interview and decision making. Interview is conducted on the scheduled date by the committee, which is selection committee. Then the candidates are selected. With this, in this session, we have understood the meaning, definition of recruitment, factors affecting recruitment, and we have also completed the recruitment process. This session will help you to answer the following questions in your examination. The most likely questions for section A is give the meaning of recruitment. Define recruitment. Dear students, remember when you're writing the definition, please do write the author who has given the definition. Next, in section B, you can expect these two questions. Explain the various factors determining or affecting recruitment. And you can expect one more question for section B. Explain the various steps or process of recruitment. Hope this session has helped you in understanding the meaning, definition, factors determining, and the steps. Thank you, dear students. The next session will be covered about sources or steps in selection process. Thank you.